What a treat. We get to build homes north of the 405. It doesn't affect anybody and people get homes, which is a wonderful thing. Oh my God. Let's do it, folks. It's best for everybody.
One Metro West is a 1,057 unit community right next to SOCO. And it's an idea that we've had for about 8 years now, and we are a generational owner of real estate, and you know, we plan on being in Costa Mesa for 50 years, 60 years. We love Costa Mesa. This idea, we think it's a good idea. We're interested in seeing if the council thinks it's a good idea. And you know, from my mind, it's a land planning gift. And if you think about it, it's literally a cul-de-sac in the middle of, or at the far corner of Costa Mesa. And it really gives you the opportunity to kind of do a different style of living that a lot of people are really interested in. We currently have 3,000 units in Irvine, so we know the market very well. And the land planning gift is a cul-de-sac. So what does that mean? It allows us to have pedestrian-friendly connectivity along the streets. It allows us to build a park. Literally on a cul-de-sac. It allows us to have some wonderful neighbors, which there's over 8,000 employees currently here north of the 405 in Costa Mesa. There's about another 2,000 coming when Annandale moves into the press down the street. And they need places to live. Vans has 500 employees now. They're expanding to 500 employees. And for me, it seems to make more sense for them to live closer to work as opposed to getting on the freeway. We're excited about the opportunity to present this idea to the city. We've been at this for quite a while.
One Metro West is just what the state has ordered as far as our housing element is concerned. This facility will be so close to people who can walk and bike to their work, to the press, to SOCO where we are right now. The garden facilities will be open to the public, another pocket park for Costa Mesa. There's a huge freeway, 8-10 lanes in each direction just about, that divides One Metro West from the state streets. There will be very little, if any, light pollution coming from One Metro West.
Hi, I'm Todd Eckert. I'm with Project Independence. We're in our 44th year of serving adults with developmental disabilities throughout Orange County. And today I happen to be in support of One Metro West, which is going to be actually our neighbor. We're literally down the street from them. So the mixed use project we're very, very excited about. Both they've stepped up for us already as neighbors and as supporters and as sponsors of our Walk for Independence on October 2nd. But that aside, we are very, very excited to have them as neighbors. We see it as a complete and total improvement. A lot of our staff, a lot of our management lives directly in this neighborhood, and they as neighbors are also very, very excited about the project. We're especially looking forward to the outdoor space that they're planning on including. We serve over 600 adults with developmental disabilities, and we're going to be able to then have on-site and then just a quick walk over into their mixed-use facility with residential and retail, and I think they have some office going into it. But we just want to say, welcome to the neighborhood. Brent and his crew have stepped up already so many times for us, and we're just very, very excited to have them in the neighborhood. We see it as an immense improvement and an open space planning, which is going to be very, very exciting to us and to our clients who we serve.
So I want to address some of the questions about the construction. And you know, we're market based, so a lot of times we do build things all at once. Obviously, this is a 3-building project. There's a potential for it to be phased. To address some of the questions as it relates to some of the construction noise, we encourage you to go to some of our projects in Irvine right now where we're building, and the noise is it passes the test from an environmental standpoint. There are standards, and we encourage you to, again, come. We're literally building 1,600 units right now in Irvine right now. We encourage people to come by a campus in Jamboree to listen to the construction noise, because it's very manageable at the end of the day. To address some of the questions as it relates to parking, we are very familiar with the market. We park. Everything will be self-contained within the project. We did a traffic study. We know what our parking study. We not only know what our parking ratios are, but the city went out and looked at some other buildings, and it's a ratio that makes sense. You don't want too little parking, and you don't want too much parking. So, like, for instance, Baker Block right now is about 200 extra spots, and those 200 extra spots are tens of millions of dollars that are added to the project, which prevents you from doing, for instance, the park or something like that. So, ultimately you want to right-size the parking, and based upon some of what's going on actually in the market today, we've done that. We believe we've done that. So as it relates to the timing to get this approved by City Council, actually we've tried to go as fast as we can. We actually paid to fast track that. We gave some additional consulting dollars to the city, so they had the opportunity to put more people on our project, and then obviously those funds were used to work on some of their other staffing. And so we try to do as fast as we can. These projects are complex. There's EIRs. The EIRs need to go through their own process. At minimum, they take 2 years to process. Sometimes they take 3 years. We started this at the beginning of 2019. Obviously, and then COVID got in the way. So, COVID created its own challenges that are related to working through the process. We were all set to go to City Council in June of last year, and then, because of COVID, it just prolonged it. We were hoping to get on the ballot or on council in January, February this year. Again, the council has a lot of things to worry about, and this is the soonest we're able to do it.
I understand that there are some concerns. Number one, paying off council members. I also have paid off council members. Over the years, living in Costa Mesa, Flo Martin has donated literally thousands of dollars to Costa Mesa candidates. So paying off council members is not an issue. If these council members owe to One Metro West, they also owe to Flo Martin. Traffic conditions. One Metro West will emphasize people getting to work via pedestrian traffic and bicycle traffic. Car traffic will not be an issue in my point of view.
So I encourage people to go and look at all the records. We do not write any checks. We do not give any campaign donations to any council members or candidates in all of our 8 years.
There's another argument to support One Metro West, and that is not supporting housing is really systemic racism. You have yours. People who are making incomes now don't have theirs. So basically, if you're white and were able to buy a home 30 years ago, life is sweet. Let's just keep it that way. Nobody else in our town. Think about it, folks. Real diversity requires people needing homes.
Personally, and I think professionally, we were a little puzzled as to why there is some pushback to this development, which we find a little puzzling, because we see it as a complete improvement to the neighborhood, which is essentially a glorified flex or warehouse district that's been modified into being where we got zoned X where we are. But we love the idea that rather than bringing more traffic, which is what one of the reasons I've heard pushback on this, is to us it's just the opposite. This is going to have, I think, up to 1,100 units of people who are going to stay on site. They're going to be less inclined to jump on this huge freeway expansion out here, which hopefully will be uncalled for, because people are going to stay on site, they're going to shop on site, they're going to stay local, thus no more traffic, open spacing planning, smart development. It's a little puzzling. I haven't gotten in any, I've gotten in some friendly discussions on it, but it really, I'm still a little puzzled why there's any pushback on it. I think we all fear change, but we're talking about, I think a lot of the concern is that we have a residential neighborhood over here, which oddly enough creates traffic because people have to go to and from, and so we see a high density as the answer. Me, I guess, but also as a company that we As I've said, we represent over 600 people with developmental disabilities, and it is not easy. Transportation is a big deal, so when we can be more centralized and bring independent activities on site and not have to be traipsing all over and dealing with that traffic, it's a godsend.
People are entitled to their own opinions, but they're not entitled to their own facts. And we hope that the hardest thing for me is to get as many of the facts out there for people to understand what they actually are. You know, there's a 700-page environmental document, which is very obviously dense, and it's not easy to understand. So these are complex projects, and it's going to be in our image. It's going to be for public consumption. We're going to have connectivities to the Santa Ana River Trail. We're going to have about 6,000 square feet of retail. We're going to have a creative office building, and in our mind, it'll be like a jewel box architecture that resonate with some company that wants to make a statement from the visibility on the 405 freeway. So come take a look at us. I'm glad that we've had the opportunity to say something here, and thank you very much.